All right.
I don't know, sir. But one thing I do know is we're about ready. We're about ready to get into it with another episode of
The Uncommon Man podcast.
Woo!
You,
Starring David,
I'm firing it tonight.
Mike, talking tonight about our beloved Broncos and how much they were unbeloved this week.
How much they sucked ass this week.
That was brutal.
So Mike kind of started it just a little bit early, so that was just a kind of preview to my heat up later on in this segment. So let's jump right into Broncos versus Bills. Mike,
and what a gem it was!
Like I haven't seen an ass whooping like that in a while for the Broncos. I mean,
no, that was
a minute.
That was the first one that they've actually had put on them, and I hold no candle to the flame when it comes to the defense, dude. I mean, 5 seasons now, the defense has literally carried the team week in and week out, and they were just disintegrated. Like, there's not enough adverbs to describe how bad that defense is right now with injuries. Like, they're brutalized, man. So, and then Ojimudi got frustrated. That was called or categorized as like the weakest ejection of all time with that like half-ass punch that he threw at the guy. But it wasn't, because it wasn't even like warranted. Or I mean, the situation wasn't warranted to even provoke Ojimudi to punch a guy in the first place. They were just sitting there having a scuffle, and the dude kept jackhammering his hand into Ojimudi's face, and finally Ojimudi just was like, all right, fuck you, buddy. And just threw like this light tap, and then that was it. There was no altercation, nothing. There was none of the, none of the sidelines were clearing, nothing. So it was like, are they kicking him out? What's going on? There's just a whole bunch of mishmash going on, even with the commentators going, is he going to get ejected for that? I don't know. It was really passive.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was just a love tap. Yeah, man. So watching this game, at first, I thought the Broncos offense did really good answering. The Bills score, Broncos kind of came back.
Right.
Drew Lock and offense put together complete drives.
Correct.
Then it kind of just spiraled out of hand from there, which is to be expected when you're playing a complete team like the Bills. I mean, when I say complete, both on offense and defense, they have a defense that can match your offense and just putting a hurt on somebody. And, for Vic Fangio to pretty much not have any cornerbacks, you're playing with a rookie cornerback in Ojemudia versus one of the best offensives in the NFL right now. And then you got Bosby out here getting beat like a drum by Diggs. It's just like this, I'm surprised they held up as long as they did. I mean, after a while, it's just you can't hold up anymore. And, the levee breaks. The flood comes in, and they flooded the Broncos to where they just couldn't answer anymore. But, I was happy that at first that, Drew Lock and them was actually putting together complete drives, but then after that, it's kind of went to shit. What's interesting is Mike has a complete breakdown of the game that he's going to lay on us right now.
So let's take a look, guys, at the difference between, and this is indicative of the entire season, so a little bit of foreshadowing coming on here. But so for the first half, when we were actually doing what David had alluded to earlier, talking about the Bills only going up 14-0 on them, and then all of a sudden they started answering, putting touchdowns on the board, and going into the half with a lot of momentum. So you've got Drew Lock opening up first play for the first touchdown. I'll revert to the first touchdown drive because the first handful was a missed field goal. That could have been points right on the board. Touchdown for the Bills, punt. Touchdown for the Bills, punt. Ball got turned over. Denver has the ball, and they score on this one. It's only a 35-yard drive. Doesn't matter. You got to put that in the end zone when the defense gifts you something. So pass short right to Lindsey, 8 yards. Melvin Gordon up the middle for 1 yard. Locke runs out of bounds for 14 yards. Nice scramble there. Lindsey for 2 yards. Drew Lock incomplete to Hamler. Melvin Gordon, 10-yard rush for touchdown. Okay, so there's one down. That puts Buffalo up against the clock at this point. Buffalo only has 3 plays, and so they 3 and out this next one. Give it back to the Broncos. The Broncos, 3 and out as well. Incomplete, short left to Noah Fant. Melvin Gordon up the middle for 2 yards. Drew Lock incomplete. Short left to Noah Fant. Sam Martin punts 52 yards. Okay, so you're sitting there going, what's going on here? Buffalo goes 5 plays scores, man. 5 plays. So you know for a fact that there was a bomb in there somewhere. Yeah. Josh Allen deep left to I forgot Knox's first name for 27 yards. He had a hell of a day too.
Dawson Knox, I think that's his name.
Dawson. Yeah, Dawson. There it is. Yeah. So 27 yards for him. That's a big one for them. What was another one? Oh, yeah, they had a decent return on it. That's what the other thing was. I think he brought it back out to like 45. So, but then you look at the touchdown play for the Broncos. All right, Drew Lock, short middle, Noah Fant. Drew Lock, short right, Noah Fant. Both of those for 5 yards. Short middle, Melvin Gordon for 9 yards. Pass short middle, Melvin Gordon for 6 yards. Royce Freeman, 4 yards. Incomplete, Judy. Short left, Tim Patrick, 6 yards. Incomplete, short right to Hamler. Pass deep right to Judy for 19 yards. I guess that's their category for deep right with as dismal as our offense has been. But then, yeah, eventually 6-yard pass to Noah Fant for Drew Lock. Okay, so this is your first half breakdown real quick, guys. Like I said, these are the actual plays that happened. So right off the bat, Bills drive the field, score a touchdown. Only had to go 43 yards. The initial kickoff was pretty brutal. Yet again, McMahon failing us on special teams. I think that's been the name of the story for the last 5 years or 4 years with that guy as well. So 7 plays, 43 yards, and touchdown. Drew Lock gets a sack, fumble. They recover it, scoop and score. Next play is a punt, 3 and out yet again. So let's go through this, okay? Philip Lindsay, 4 yards. Short left, Philip Lindsay, -6 yards. Incomplete. Short middle, Noah Fant. Sam Martin punts. Are you noticing a trend at this point, dude?
Short plays, short passes.
That's interesting. So next up, we've got Bills turnover on downs. So the Broncos, therefore, have pretty decent opportunity to go ahead and make something out of it. Penalty on Glasgow, that's a tough one. I mean, they were already backed up on the goal line anyways. Doesn't really matter. It's at the Denver 4. Melvin Gordon up the middle for no gain to the Denver 2. You're on the goal line. You're down. It's 35-13 right now. You're running up the middle for 2. Next is incomplete short right to Hamler. Drew Lock scrambles left out of bounds for 3 yards to the Denver 5. Sam Martin punts. Okay? Next up. Defense holds the Bills to a field goal. What a gem. 38-13. So you're 38-13. Now's when I would think, hey, you know what? It's time to start throwing the football down the fucking field, right? Not so much, ladies and gentlemen. Not when you have no offensive identity because your fucking offensive coordinator can't get his shit together and actually consistently call a game for the first time in his life. They absolutely massacred Carolina last week by the deep ball. They didn't throw fucking 3 of them this entire game. So next up, we've got Philip Lindsay, right guard, 3 yards. Drew Lock, short right, Noah Fant, 9 yards. Melvin Gordon up the middle, 14 yards. There was a break. Short right, Tim Patrick, -2 yards. Drew Lock sack, -10 yards. Drew Lock, short left, Jerry Jeudy. Sam Martin punts. Okay, next up, they fucking scored again. Now it's 41-13. Finally, Denver has a touchdown touchdown drive for this one. We've got Drew Lock scrambles for 5 yards. Drew Lock short middle for 6 yards. Short middle, Hamler, 4 yards. Short left to Philip Lindsay, 5 yards. There's still apparently nothing over 10 yards at this point. Gordon up the middle. Gordon up the middle for 6. Buffalo's Gordon up the right for 7. Drew Lock pass incomplete, short left to Judy. This is sequential, ladies and gentlemen. I'm reading this off to you play by play. This is how pathetic this is. Tim Patrick, short right, Tim Patrick for 10 yards. Short middle, Melvin Gordon for 7 yards. Melvin Gordon up the middle for 9 yards. Philip Lindsay, right tackle for 8 yards. 2-minute warning. Melvin Gordon, 8-yard run for a touchdown. Okay. So then the Bills just run it up. I mean, why not? I don't blame them. This is It's a professional football game. You got to.
I get paid to do this.
That's exactly correct. And they beat the dog shit out of us. So end of game, 3 plays, 5 yards, a minute 40. Philip Lindsay up the middle for no gain. Philip Lindsay, yeah, these are all just burner plays at this point. They were just taking off the clock. You know what, dude? Fuck you, Shermer. How about that, you sorry sack of shit? You fucking suck. Now I get why the Giants fans were telling us, hey, you guys have him. This guy's pathetic. This is embarrassing for a dude who's been in the NFL as long as he has. So you and I now I've said my piece. What's your thoughts right now on what we should do with the offensive coordinator going into next season?
So before this game, there was a lot of chatter on will Sherman see another season? And word out of the Valley was Drew Lock kind of said his piece that, he would like to see Pat Sherman and Shula back for another year to kind of, build off of what they've been doing. But what the fuck are we building on here? Okay.
Yeah,
are we building on dump off passes? I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? You're just getting slaughtered, right? So at this point, you have nothing to lose whatsoever, everything to gain. Dude, you don't throw the ball past 15 fucking yards? Fuck you. The fuck are you doing?
Trash.
Dude, drop back and let the motherfucker rip. Goddamn. Again, this is why Denver Broncos will not be head of the division, won't win a division title, won't go to the fucking playoffs, won't go to the fucking Super Bowl because of shit like this. We can't score over 17 points. We can't throw the ball more than fucking 20 yards down the fucking field. What the fuck are we doing here, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, as a whole, I've said this time and time and time again. We do not have a winning culture. And we don't have a culture of we're just going to beat the living piss out of people. Okay? Right. This is not the Peyton Manning days where we can hang 42 on somebody and say, hey, third team, get your ass in there. No, we can't put up more than 17 points. We can't pass the ball more than fucking 20 yards down the fucking field because of shit like this. You're getting your ass handed to you, and you don't change up the fucking scheme at all. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, and look, all you guys right now that are throwing Drew Lock under the bus, I get it. I understand your frustration. Here's the deal about it, man. There isn't a single one of these quarterbacks. You look at Aaron Rodgers, he sat behind one of the greatest to ever do it for 3 years, never even having an opportunity. All right. Look what gem he's turned into. Mahomes had one full season behind Alex Smith. Didn't even have an opportunity to get on the field. Look what he's turned into. Derek Carr, it's taken him, it took him 3 seasons to even have a name for himself in the NFL because, they were literally the laughing stock of the NFL till that one season that they had that was right, for sure. But there's better than us this year, as much as I hate them. So I'm not giving them any credit. It seems like we really missed on old boy out of Oregon, man. I mean, the Chargers are just going gangbusters with this kid right now. Herbert has been playing nuts, so that he seems to be exception to the rule. Daniel Jones is advertised. They pretty much had him starting since third week of his first season. Look at how much he stinks. Like he's so bad that they just told him take the week off last week. He's that fucking terrible and inconsistent with holding the ball. So I still say we've got a spoil of riches when it comes to what Drew Lock brings to the table. The problem with it is you see what his strong side is, and he definitely capitalizes on it. He's shown that in the games that he's played and supposed to beat the shit out of the teams that he's supposed to win. I posted a tweet out here a couple days ago or a couple days before the game showing the stats with him. So with him at the reins, okay? So with the 2 seasons that Drew Lock's been in existence, without him, we're 4-11. Points for is 16.5. Points against is 22. This is obviously before the Bills game. With him, we're 8-6. Points for is 21, and points against has been 24. So a little bit more on the points against, but at the same time, it more than offsets it with the points for, and it shows in the win category as well. So this one was a pretty rough game. But here's the deal about it. He's still a young quarterback. There's no way he's going to tell Pat Shermer to suck a dick when a play is called out there on the field. There's no fucking way. He's in the NFL trying to make a name for himself. He's not going to immediately put himself on the bad side of whatever offensive coordinator that his boss put into place because the last guy couldn't do shit. So,
right.
But here's the other question that I have, and I know this is going to lead into your topic of conversation. Do you think it's all Shermer, or could it be the other guy with the other microphone on the sidelines that's also causing them to play this conservative game? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, Vic Fangio. I would say no. Okay, and here's why. We know what we get in Vic Fangio. Okay, then Fangio does not pretend one bit to be an offensive mind person. We know he's a defensive minded person. That's why he brought in Pat Shermer to be the offensive minded person. Okay,
right.
Now, could Fangio get in Pat Sherman's ass and be like, hey, man, why are we throwing so many short passes or whatever? But I'm pretty sure Pat Sherman is up there getting him with this mumbo jumbo. Hey, from what I'm seeing from the sky, this works best, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so I in no way can put this on Fangio as far as what the offense will look like, because we know Fangio is not an offensive guy, okay? He's not an offensive mind person. That's why he brought in what was supposed to be the offensive minded person to run the offense, okay? Think of Vic Fangio as he's the head honcho, he's the head guy. He hires everybody else under him to run different aspects of the team so he can focus on what the defense is, what he does best, okay? So in no way whatsoever do I put this on Fangio.
So we're supposed to fire Fangio and fire John Elway at the end of the season, right?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, okay. So let's address this firing John Elway and firing Fangio bullshit, okay? Because quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. I'm sick and tired of hearing these people that don't think outside the box talking about let's fire this person, let's fire that person, okay? What Vic Fangio has brought to this defense, you telling me that you want to get rid of that? You're telling me that you want to get rid of the person that has made our defense the way it is, excluding not getting help from the offense. So you tell me you want to fire that?
Even with as many times as teams have gone down in the red zone, they're still the number one rated red zone or defense until this week. Obviously, that decimated their percentile. But this defense has been mind blowing as opposed to the years that we had with. I mean, Wade Phillips' second year wasn't the greatest. Obviously, their first year was just an anomaly with the fact that they ran the table defensively and put together that ridiculous scheme all the way to the Super Bowl. But his second year wasn't great, which is why we ended up missing the playoffs. And offensively, we were just a dud. So, but I mean, it can't get any worse than Vance Joseph's defense, dude. I mean, we saw the bottom of the barrel.
Absolutely.
That was terrible.
Absolutely. But again, you telling me that's what you want to get rid of. Okay, let's go to John Elway. Let's address the John Elway firing. I want to ask everybody out there, and you put in the fucking comments, who fires John Elway? Tell me right now. Who fires him? You don't have an ownership. So who fires John Elway? Tell me right now. Who fires him? Drop it in the comment section. Let me know who fires John Elway. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody fires John Elway.
Or tweet at us.
I'm being serious here. Joe Ellis fires John Elway? Fuck no. We don't even know what Joe Ellis is half the time.
Or if he exists anymore.
Yeah. The fuck? Okay, so let me give you, ladies and gentlemen, a breakdown of John Elway's record post Manning. 2016, 9-7. 2017, 5-11. 2018, 6-10. 2019, 7-9. 2020 so far, 5-9. A grand total of 32-46. Post Manning. You let me know what GM still has a job in the NFL with this kind of record. Did Jim know why he still has a job?
Jim Caldwell got fired with a winning record, dude. That was insane. And what are they doing down there in Miami right now? What are they doing in Miami underneath his tutelage?
Yeah. So again, I ask everybody this right now: who fires John Elway? Nobody fires John Elway because you don't have fucking ownership.
Right.
This ship does not turn around until what? Until you get ownership, until you get accountability. Okay. So let's stop with the fire John Elway and fire Big Fangio. Okay. Until you can give me a better excuse or a better reason as to why they need to be fired, let's just put this to bed right now. Okay. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. Okay, so let's do a Broncos and Chargers preview game. Okay.
Music to my ears.
At this point, I don't give a shit if we win or lose this game. Only thing I want to see is the battle against Drew Lock and Justin Herbert because I need to feel as a fan that we didn't make the wrong choice at quarterback. So I need to see Drew Lock ball out.
Yeah, that's going to be agreed. But I mean, that's all going to stem from the dude who's sitting there yapping in his ear. So if the calls are being deep left, deep right, and they're missing shots down the field at this point in time, yeah, we've got problems. But if those calls aren't coming, I mean, what are we? What can we honestly speculate on at that point in time? I mean, do you put it on the quarterback? Do you put it on a sophomore quarterback who's really a rookie since his first full season starting?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I put it on his coaches and his mentorship for the fact that they're not putting him in a position to succeed and utilizing his talents. That's solely on us for not being able to develop a quarterback. But I agree. I think the Broncos are coming in as underdogs, and rightfully so. They've been dismal compared to what the Chargers have been on display for the last handful of weeks. So kudos to the Chargers, man. I really like what they got going on over there. I don't think they're ever going to put it together just because of the culture of that entire franchise in general. But at the same time, never really had any issues with Chargers. It is what it is. I don't see Denver winning it, but at the same time, it'd just be nice to see them, like you said, just get on display offensively. The other thing is just with as disintegrated as the defense is right now, really just there's a minimal chance that they're going to be able to pull through and stop that offense.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point that Mike has made. When it comes to the two receivers that I think that are just going to destroy us, Keenan Allen and Williams kid. I mean, I think they're just going to just annihilate us in conjunction with Justin Herbert throwing the ball deep. Because you got to remember, you don't have any cornerbacks. Okay, you have Ojemudia, but at the same time, he's still a rookie. Okay, now him paired up versus a Keenan Allen and him pairing up against a Mike Williams, that could be real trouble. We saw what happened to Bosby last week, right? So I have no faith in him.
Right.
I mean, you got to understand, Keenan Allen used to give Chris Harris a hell of a day between talking shit and just his route running and just his ability. You want to see Keenan Allen versus Devontae Bosby? I mean, that's going to be awful. So I think I agree with Mike in the sense that I have no hope that we'll win, but at least on the offensive side of the ball, I want to see complete drives. Okay, I want to see Drew Lock again be the quarterback, command the huddle, put together drives to where we do score. If we do decide that hey, we're going to throw the ball deep, I don't want to see him overthrowing people by 5 yards. Okay, I want to actually see him hitting plays. I want to see him develop chemistry with Judy and Fant and Hamler. Get everybody involved because with 2 games left, you have absolutely nothing to play for here. Okay, I don't think we're moving up any further in the draft. I mean, it seems like no matter how bad we do, we can't break top 10. I mean, have we moved up on the draft board any? I don't think so. So at this point, it's just it's playing to see what you got more so.
Yeah, got a website called Tankathon. That's good.
Nice.
Yeah, no, right now we're still sitting at number 13. That's a real rough one, see?
Yeah, sitting at number 13. So, yeah, I just really don't care if we want to lose. I just want to see that we didn't make the wrong choice of quarterback.
Yeah, I want to see Cleveland win the Super Bowl. Just so that way I have to put out – I mean, I'm already going to put out a video saying that I apologize for completely underestimating their head coach coming in there. I can't even remember his name right now. What kind of Stefanski. Yeah. I completely shortchanged that guy and how wrong I've been, dude, because they've turned 180 degrees out, man, and they're nasty. I think now after tonight's loss for the Steelers, they're a game out on them. The Steelers have lost 3 in a row. Cleveland is 10-4. They're a game out on Pittsburgh right now at 11-3, and Cleveland's 10-4. That's awesome. New Orleans is bunk. I'm not even concerned about them making it anywhere. I think the Super Bowl is really looking like Green Bay and Kansas City, possibly Buffalo, possibly.
I like it.
I think Tennessee, they're literally running off of, no pun intended, but they're literally running off the successes of Derrick Henry. I don't see them making it that far in the playoffs, but I've also had a rough year just in projecting all this in general. There's another team I'd like to see. I'd like to see Phillip Rivers get one in Indianapolis. That'd be cool.
Oh, Philly River. Yeah.
Philly Riv.
Yeah, I mean, that's a strong possibility. I mean, that's a very strong possibility there.
Indianapolis is playing good football.
That they make a strong run deep into the playoffs. So, yeah, they definitely have momentum. But, yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, again, hey, if you disagree with anything that me and Mike said, hey, please drop us a comment. Hey, we want to hear. I still challenge anybody to answer the question, who is going to fire John Elway? If you have a better solution, or if you know something that I don't know, fucking drop it in the comment section, tweet at us, whatever. But I think that does it for tonight, man.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's been another episode of
the Uncommon Man Podcast.
You guys enjoy. That was really uncomfortable, but that's an exit that we'd like to finish out on. Just all you guys are uncomfortable too. Have a great one. We'll see you around.
Later.